Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. Do you all believe in coincidences? I don't know. As you can see on the screen, there's quite a bit of symbolism there concerning our current posture as far as what is going on in the world. So, anyway, folks, I hope I'm coming through clear, and I hope you all can hear me good. I'm going to play a little video that General Flynn reposted while we're waiting for people to get in the chat. So I'm doing a multi-stream with Bumble. So welcome to everybody on Bumble also. And while you're there, if you're not following me on Bumble, hit the follow button. Okay, folks, and thumbs up help the video get around. So anyway, let me play this, see how the stream's doing. Let me know if we got a 5x5.
We've had great leaders. They understood that there was something not right. And Eisenhower was really the first to warn the nation that, hey, there's this thing called the military-industrial complex, and we've got to be careful of it. Fast forward to John F. Kennedy. He actually called out the CIA, made the comment, I'm going to break it into a million pieces. And you have to ask yourself, what did he know? So for 40 years, we have this Cold War. Giant programs that are being built. But that Cold War, it gave rise to the things that President Eisenhower and President Kennedy warned us about. The military-industrial complex, the intelligence services at the time, we now know in Kennedy's assassination, were part of his demise. It's like, how did we ever get here?
So there you heard General Flynn on top of Kash Patel saying, now we know certain elements of our government were part of John F. Kennedy's demise. So, wow, what a first day of the year, right, folks? I bet many of you were watching the updates and all the things that were going on. Hi, Finding Dory. How you doing? Sin. Nice to see you. Melinda. Sandy. Linda's here. And Linda said, I got a 5x5. Hi, Ann. Haha, nice to see you. Robin's here. Max here. Good to see you. Gloria. Debbie. KNS Cleanup. Tammy. Hi, Benjamin. Nice to see you. Happy New Year to everybody, even though I guess you could say it started off with a bang, but a horrible thing that happened after our live stream was New Year's Eve. I went through New Year's Day. I watched some of the celebrations, and that was enough for me after the ball dropped and everybody put their little shows up, and I unfortunately was watching a streamer who had CNN on, and right when the ball dropped, of course, they had two guys French kissing for the big celebration right at midnight, which, what did I expect, really? So anyway, I learned a little lesson there. It'd be better off to do next time, instead of watch CNN, pet the cat, or, look in the fridge right at 12. So anyway, we got this situation happened at Trump Towers in Florida, and also the horrific act of a demented individual in New Orleans. And of course, I'm sure many of you have watched what was going on, where he was from, Texas, and all this kind of stuff. A lot of questions. I remember posts from 2017 that there are no coincidences. Now, that can mean a lot of things. What is going on is a result of people being emboldened, people being incited, people being enraged, part of a The results of illegal psychological warfare operations. I'm not saying it's a coincidence that what happened at Trump Tower and what happened in New Orleans, I'm not saying they're tied together by saying there's no coincidences. I'm just saying these types of acts have to be expected when a nation is subjected to the type of hyperbole and organized vitriol that is being put out on all platforms. What do they expect? It is the culmination, the result that they're seeking, okay? That is what's not a coincidence. It's part of their results of their recipe, okay? Their modus operandi. Hi, Tennessee, how you doing? Nice to see you. All right. Hi, Debbie. I'm just seeing who all's coming in, saying hi to one another. Yeah, you never know who you run into on YouTube. Hi, Wayne. Yes, give me a thumbs up, Wayne says. Sinson, how you doing? Flannel cheese, nice to see you. Haha, good, okay. All right, everybody's rolling in. Good to see. So, before we get into that, I'm going to play part of Senator Kennedy's briefing that he had, and we're going to analyze that. We're going to look at some of Mr. T's posts with all this stuff that's going on. How you doing, Roberto? With all the stuff that's going on, we also have a looming sticky wicket with Speaker of the House. And keep in mind that Trump has made no bones about how he wants things to go. So let's see who bucks it, okay? We'll see who bucks it. Hi, Todd. How are you doing? So let's see here. Now, I just got a screenshot of this. You don't have to watch the whole video. I mean, there's some guy coming out with his hands up. But right after the incident, they had a SWAT team go down and find his home over there in Texas and raid it. And I'm sure they gathered up everybody that was in the house, near the house, sitting on the stoop or whatever, and went through that house with a fine-tooth comb. We're going to see what this business is of accomplices. There were reports coming out about, here I got a couple of screenshots. This video, they said that there were possibly up to 4, maybe 5 accomplices planting IEDs, and that 2 were found. And after this video, I heard there were more, but they weren't sure if they were just, things that people left behind in the melee, or if they were actually IEDs. But there were some that were, and they were disabled. And I thought this video might have some footage of what the suspected accomplices looked like, but it didn't. So I got a screenshot, the whole street filled with cop cars, up and down the street, and the lights going, and I'm like, I know I'm not the man in the ring, but what good does that do, But I guess it is to get people's morale up and have a show of force. But I mean, there must have been 50 to 75 cop cars out there, all with the lights going on. So they did show an area here. Whoa, wait a minute. Where they found an IED. Apparently, it's showing a cop stand there putting his hand out where they had one positioned. And, of course, they disabled it. I guess there's some damage there where they blew up the suspected IED and then collected everything out of it. And but they didn't have any footage of Accomplices. I was kind of hoping they would. But I tell you what, they had one screenshot that I think is important. Bourbon Street construction project. Wow, a lot of people were voicing frustration about the press conference and that Tales from the Crypt police chief lady. I mean, wow, what's her story? She's one of these types. She was making excuses for why she said there were barricades up, and then it turned out the barricades were supposedly under construction. It seems like a pattern. Well, it is a pattern where they get a bunch of money to do improvements, government grants, or to carry on with a project like how much fraud we saw in the CVID money that they were handing out, hundreds of millions of dollars to communities, and it just gets sucked up into a slush fund or bribes or embezzled. Who knows what the story is with these supposed Ballards that they said, oh, they weren't working properly. I mean, was it somebody's cousin got the job and screwed it up, or they pocketed the money and didn't do the job? Who knows? But you see how these Ballards were supposed to be in the street center screen. And this is, I guess, is an animation. But you see the lamppost there on the left with a lady walking right in front of the lamppost. And I'll have a video. I got to be careful what I show of this guy driving along the street, and he gets right where that woman is with the white top and brownish pants, tannish pants on the left-hand side of the screen. And he drives between the lamppost and the building on the sidewalk around a police car. How you doing, Roland? Nice to see you. So, hi, Linda. Let's see. I'm just looking through the chat. So I'll play that. And you really can't see anybody get hurt. And I've seen a couple of other creators play this video. So I don't think I'll get in trouble for it. Let me see which one it is. It is right here. Right here. Now, what this is, a lot of people thought, well, it might have been an accomplice that filmed it because it is focusing on this guy's white truck. And so that person may have known he was coming and wanted to document it. But that's not the case. What this is a video of a television monitor that is showing the whole street. And the person has their phone and is recording off the television monitor once they spot the truck, and they follow it across the television monitor. It wasn't anybody in real time tracking the truck, So I just want to point that out. You can see the white truck right there in the right-hand side behind a little sedan. So I'll play it, and I'll try to freeze it before it gets too wild. But you'll see him go past the intersection to the far end of the street, just like I showed you, where the lady with the white shirt and tan pants were. And he's got his Palestinian flag hanging off the back, but you can't see it real well in this video. I couldn't get the video to freeze. I couldn't get the video to freeze. I wanted to freeze it right before he stomped on the gas. But as you saw there, he went, how you doing, Gary? As you saw there, he went on the other side of the intersection and right against the buildings and just blasted right through the crowd. And he went on full speed. The only video I captured or copied where you don't see any people getting hurt. I've seen videos where, it's just nothing I can play. But this gives you an idea of the speed with which he was traveling. And, it's a narrow, dark street. So, yeah, let me play that again. Shows you how quick he's going. He had it pretty much floored. So hard to get out of the way of something like that. And, everybody was, halfway or all the way drunk. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. And the thing about this is, you would figure that closer to when they're ringing in midnight. I think this operation got delayed, and he pulled his 3 a.m. thing because the devices didn't go off. I think it was. I think I'm sure they're going to review all the footage that they can throughout the day and see if this person made a couple of passes or if he was in different clothing and had cased the area on foot prior. There's a lot of, but as he's in his truck, keep in mind, he's in military gear. He's all dressed up. He has his weapons ready. He's got his flag hanging off the back. Did he just show up and go straight to work, air quotes work? Or was this where it was supposed to be a coordinated explosions with some Confederates? And I don't know. We'll just have to see what the investigation puts out. So is this yeah. Let me play Senator Kennedy. Now, he says he's going to raise fresh hell. If he doesn't get, he says, we'll get some answers. But right now we've got to keep things close to our chest so we don't hurt the investigation. But he is saying that we will find out everything that there is to be found out. But let me go ahead and play the press conference.
I'd like to bring up Senator Kennedy. I wish I understood better why bad things happen to good people. If I make it to heaven, I'm going to ask. For those people who don't believe in objective evil, all you have to do is look at what happened in our city early this morning. If this doesn't trigger the gag reflex of every American, every fair-minded American, I'll be very surprised. I'm here because these are my people. I'm here because these are my people's friends. I'm here because there are a lot of Louisianians that are scared tonight. I don't want them to be. There's a lot of information going around. Some of it is actually true. Some of it isn't. The federal government is now in charge of this investigation. By that, I mean the White House, the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Department of Justice. I have not talked to the FBI. Maybe they've talked to my staff. I don't know. I did talk to the Secretary of Homeland Security a little while ago. And I told him that with all the respect I could muster, that we expect to put the full force and resources of the federal government behind this investigation. Our state troopers, our local police departments, our sheriffs, we've got many sheriffs here today, have been terrific so far. Federal government is cooperating with them. I hope that will continue. Here's what I want to ask from the federal government. Catch these people. Catch these people. And then tell the American people the truth. Now, I don't want you to tell us yet anything's going to interfere with your investigation. And there are things that I've been told that I think are true that I'm not sharing with you today because it could interfere with their investigation. But after we get to the bottom of this, they need to tell the American people the truth, and the people in New Orleans the truth, and the people of America the truth. I think the mayor and the governor are very wise to postpone this ball game for 24 hours. There's just too much stuff we don't know, and it's just not worth it. But I guess my final point is, I will promise you this. I will, when it is appropriate and this investigation is complete, you will find out what happened and who was responsible. Or I will raise fresh hell. And I will chase those in the federal government who are responsible for telling us what happened, like they stole Christmas.
Thank you, Senator Kennedy.
So there you see, that's a pretty bold public statement, and we're tired of getting stonewalled. I have heard reports that now some outlets are saying that the people who were planting the devices were not connected to this person. I think that's a little bit of a knee-jerk statement, because there's no way of knowing that. I would say more than likely that there was some coordination. A lot of you have seen, this is a little fuzzy, but he had a video up of talking about his real estate business. Hard to read there, but his name Shamoud Din Jabbar. That's the way he spelled it. Now, a lot of people are saying he's a recent convert to being a Muslim. And I don't know why they would say that. People said he changed his name when he converted. This video was 4 years old. That's not recent. He's got the same name he had 4 years ago. And here's another shot of him, I guess when he's a little bit younger. His beard's not gray. I think he got arrested for driving without a license. There is Shamsuddin Jabbar. And he's got what I've seen described in other posts where there were problems with like the theater in Crocus in Russia. Remember that? When they blew that auditorium up in Russia? They said it was Wahhabists. It's a sect, okay? And the way they wore their beards is very telling. You see where there's no connection between the mustache and the beard, that there's a shaved bare area between the chin part of the beard and the upper lip part of the beard. That was what was described as a Wahhabist way of cutting their beards. And I bring that up because in one of the chats of a video I was watching with JLR Investigates, some lady put in there, "Oh, I guess every black man with a beard now has to look over his shoulder, will be picked on," or something like that. No, it's not every black person with a beard. With the Wahhabist type of a beard, okay? You got to use some discernment and quit thinking that everybody's just trying to pick on one particular race or group. So anyway, here's another shot of him when he's older. Got the gray in the beard. Maybe that's when he had got pulled over without. No, he had a domestic issues. Okay, he did his video about how great of a real estate guy he was back in 2020, I believe. And after that, he's been married twice. After that, he got in a little brouhaha, divorce. And if I've got the headline, I put it up. If not, I'll just tell you. His wife got a restraining order on him. So there was some kind of either notion of violence or actual violence till some people get the paperwork and look it up. It's kind of hard to say. But he obviously, with the end result, I'll put this picture up, his end result. It's censored, so you don't see carnage. But that's the way he left this earth. He obviously is prone to violence. So, you know, the streets were full of trash, but I did see this thing with something pasted on a piece of cardboard. You see that there? And it looks like somebody had their hands on it or something because there's the red stuff all over it. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's something that pertains to it. Like he was going to try to, who knows what, you know, if he was maybe passing out stuff in the weeks before, or worked himself up into a frenzy, or if he was working with a cell. They say the truck that he got was rented from the same place that the Cybertruck that blew up in front of the Trump Tower. They rented it from the same place. I better get a picture down, and I'll get them both down. And this video. So, no, there aren't any coincidences. That Cybertruck and the one he was driving is rented from the same. It's like you can rent your own vehicle out. I don't know who the hell would ever want to do that, but apparently it's a thing. So we'll find out more as the days go by. But people are so much more informed than they were when stuff like this happened 10 years ago. We know how the public consciousness drifts off onto other things very quickly. If we're able to keep up the pace, keep up the info, keep up the interest, so things don't die on the vine or disappear into public forgetfulness, okay? These things are linked together because of illegal psychological warfare operations. The person in this that drove this Cybertruck, the story on that was that there was a person in the driver's seat when it went up. And I've got some footage of it. I don't know what I could show of that, but I guess I'll put this up. Let me go ahead and play this. There was somebody, I think Elon Musk even commented on this, that there were gas cans and fireworks and other volatile items in the truck. And the person in the driver's seat had some kind of ignition device where they knew that they were going to disappear with the event. And that takes us back to this guy in New Orleans. He's a 42-year-old man. He's had some combat training. He's going to do something that he had to know as a grown man that he wasn't going to walk away from. A you-know-what-aside mission. So we got 2 you-know-what-aside missions on the same day. But anyway, let me play this little report here.
That source also revealed what was inside the truck, explosives that included fireworks, gas tanks, and camping fuel, and authorities believe that that was connected to a detonation system controlled by the driver. We're also hearing this same sentiment from Elon Musk, who tweeted out that they have now confirmed that the explosion was caused by very large fireworks and or a bomb carried in the bed of the rented Cybertruck and is unrelated to the vehicle itself. So he was clear to say that this was not an issue with the Cybertruck. And the sheriff also earlier said that they are checking for secondary devices. They're investigating many different leads, but he was clear to say that there does not appear to be any further threat to the Las Vegas community.
Yeah, you definitely heard fireworks. The first video that I saw, I heard the fireworks too. Let me see. I'm just looking through the comments. My last video said pretty much keep our heads on a swivel because stuff was coming. Stuff was going to happen. And here, let me see if I can find, some of the stuff I just knew I couldn't show. So here is a video, I think, what was it? Magadonia, I think on Twitter put it up. It's showing the difference between a spontaneous fire. On the bottom half of the video, you see a white car in a garage. This was in Florida. It caught fire spontaneously from some type of malfunction with a Tesla. And then, of course, you see the truck up top. You see the difference between a spontaneous fire and what happened with the truck.
Copy. 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 Copy.
Quite a difference. Quite a difference with the car keeps burning. It's being obscured by smoke. But you see the difference between a typical malfunction versus what happened out in front of the hotel. So when you think of just samplings of TikTok videos, people losing their flipping brains over being told over and over all the horrible things that are being tossed out by the press, the libel, slander, exaggerations, doomsday sayings. 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 Doom Can you imagine somebody mad at Elon, mad at Trump, and would actually subject themselves to this type of a demise out of pure lunacy? Yes, I can see it happening. That's the purpose of psychological warfare. That's the purpose of psychological warfare. Now, what they pointed out was it looks, of course, burned up and bad, and it is, but structurally, the truck was did not suffer a lot of damage from an explosion. Here's a freeze frame of the inside of the back of the truck. It's not real clear, but what one officer was saying was that the bed of the truck and the floor of the truck caused the bulk of the explosion to go upward. It didn't even break the glass in the doors at Trump Tower. Now, I remember some time ago, many, many years ago, when the mob was on a kick where when they would take somebody out, they would do what was called a directional B-O-M-B, directional. And one of the things they would do is they would put the explosives in a box, a bang box, a metal sturdy box with one side open. And they would stash it somewhere where their target was walking by. And when they got near the open end of the box, they would detonate it and the full force would go out that opening instead of disperse. And so they call them bang boxes. So this truck was pretty much a bang box with the majority of the force going upward. But, you know, somebody that's delusional, somebody that's been compromised mentally, they live in a fantasy anyway. Whoever set this thing up, say they did go, if I get all these fireworks, big cans of gas, you know, who needs a can of gas or cans in the plural for an electric car? But anyway, I don't know if they had a propane tank or whatever. In their movie mind, what they think happens in the movies, half of Trump Tower would fall. They would go out in a blaze of glory. They would make a statement about Trump and Musk and give their middle finger to the world in a blaze of glory. But no, what they did was they ended their own lives, and the real damage to what their target was minimal, really minimal. Is this the one? I don't know. Let me see. Yeah. If this is a real short video. It just says YouTube video of New Orleans attacker uncovered. That's the one I showed you where he talks about they took that down. YouTube took his video down and closed his channel. But I mean, there's copies of it all over the place. He's just talking about what a great salesman he is. What he call himself? Fierce and brilliant real estate person. So he obviously had a very high opinion of himself 4 years ago. And then you couple that with financial failure. And here it says ex-wife had a restraining order, the loss of a marriage, and being told by a judge to stay away. When you got an ego like that, boy, you're ripe for the picking to do some kind of wild stuff like this. Now, they say that the truck he rented was tracked down there to, it was in the area of Eagle Pass. Eagle Pass in Texas back in November, I think November 16th. And people were wondering about that. Well, did he come across the border, or did he pick up some accomplices, or did it have anything to do with the situation at all? I'm sure it had something to do with it. And he could have been returning, because we read in the 17 Post that a lot of anti-Fizzle activists had gone overseas to actually train at training camps. And there's video of it on the 17th Letter site, where you see people who never really were trained in doing such things as making explosives, which he had some in his vehicle. But I don't think he planned on hitting a crane, a stationary crane, and then having his airbag go off. As you can see in this picture here, is the front end of the vehicle's totally collapsed, and you see a circle, a red circle around the flag that the police bundled up so as not to advertise for ISIS or Al Qaeda. And anyway, but he had his explosive devices, so who knows what he thought he would be able to do. Because remember, the one in Bucks County, okay, Matthew Crooks, he had some devices with him, explosive devices. He had a movie theater scenario in his mind, all right? Just like I'm sure the person in front of Trump Tower had some kind of movie scenario. This guy had some, fancied himself some kind of action hero, all right? Or he may have been an Eagle Pass, not returning from a training camp, but picking up accomplices, okay? But I'm sure they'll put it together. They'll put it together. I have a video. I'm not going to show it because it's very fast. It's very hard to see, but it is definitely the moment he opened fire and received return fire, and officers are wounded. You really can't see the action unless you go in a very, very slow freeze frame way. He has to get out of the vehicle with a deployed airbag. You know, the stun, he had to be stunned. You can't see in this picture, but he hit a crane, a stationary crane, at a high rate of speed. And even with an airbag, your bell is going to be rung. But a cop actually opens the door. I think in his mind, he's going to yank the guy out. But he's already on the offense right when the door opens. So, ugly business all the way around. Let me see this picture here. There it is. There's the crane. There's the crane he hit. You know, you're not going to move that thing 1 inch, even with a full-size truck. So, that was the end of that little ride. So, Roland, that's right. Al-Qaeda tactics. It's Al-Qaeda tactics. That's right, Gary. They're even training kids. I want to thank you, Gary, for going by my bag of coffee the other day. And the Godfather came by, Aaron. I appreciate it. And Mike and Bev. And I appreciate Pappy Two Bears going by. Angela went by. Everybody that helped out this month, Miss Minder Sue, Ann, Todd, Norm, Lone Wolf. Yeah, that's everybody that helped out this month. I want to thank you all. So anyway, I got a link in the description. Anybody wants to help the channel out. I don't like going through broadcasts and not thank. I forgot to thank people, but I get my brain going and stumble through a broadcast. So anyway, I'm looking through the chats. Ben Gary ML. Hi, Jerry. How you doing? Remember the train. Miss Fenderson said the cops are in on it. Well, it's incompetence. This police chief I was talking about, back in August, in her private car, she ran over 2 people. And she had been fired from, where was she? She was out of state and somehow ended up in New Orleans and got hired there. I've discussed that. It's some kind of municipal retirement program where, somebody ends up being a screw up somewhere. They look in the computer and find them another municipal job in some other county or some other state so they can get their time in to get their retirement. And now Biden made it so, you can double dip on your retirement plus your Social Security. Remember I talked about that? So you have all these misfits, miscreants, and malcontents bopping around different states, different counties, getting fired from one place, going to another, and in her case, even getting promoted to be a police chief that doesn't know their ass from third base. And, you have this 20 years of wonderful service to, air quotes, the community. Somewhere in government, they just shuffle around these losers. And that's what you got in with this police chief in New Orleans. Imagine that. Run 2 people over and, hey, I'm the police chief. Oakland. Yeah, that's where she's from. That's right, Justin. Thank you. Haha, localist. Yeah, airplane push jug. Well, those cranes, that's a man lift is what it's called. I called it a crane, but in the business, you call it a man lift. And it's something where you can put like 2 or 3 guys in a basket and take them straight up. There's a different style one sitting there off to the upper left, orange one, a scaffold that rises and lowers. But those cranes and man lifts, they're solid iron, and they're not going anywhere. Yeah, scissor lift. A lot of people call them scissor lifts. That's the orange one that has it's kind of like a cage look to it. The other one is a man lift. So, anyway, yeah, that municipal hiring crap. But anyway, people were talking about, well, is he when it first came out, why is it an illegal immigrant? Is it a jihadist? The news love to say it's an American citizen. Well, let's find out about that. Because in his YouTube video, he says, I was born and raised in Texas and all this stuff. Okay. Were you a birthright citizen? Do you have dual citizenship? Does your parents have citizenship in Qatar or wherever? Just because you got your citizenship papers, that doesn't mean squat to me anymore. Doesn't mean squat to me, especially if you're here just because your parents were here illegally and you were born here. Because that's not a constitutional citizenship as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, let's see. I'm going to here's a little something for you all to think about. Dan Scavino put this up today because I wonder if he's got anything to say about what's going on. Well, what he put up was, this is, I was just informed by the government, this was yesterday he put this up, that my taxes were stolen. Quote, with the unauthorized inspection or disclosure of your tax returns or return information, unquote, by a contractor between 2018 and 2020. The individual pled guilty in 2023, and I am being informed of this breach in December of 2024. So it started 6 years ago. He had no idea any of this stuff until the end of 2024. But he did put up this picture of, the other thing he put up was this picture of Trump and Melania celebrating the fireworks. As you can see there, welcoming in 2025. Hi, Angela. Yes, God is good. We're glad you're here. And it doesn't matter if you listen on the chats or you watch on TV. We're just glad to have you here. Yes, indeed. Yeah, supposedly he had 10 years active military service. Then I saw where they said he was in the military from like 2010 to 2015. So stuff is not really clear. Oh, he might have spent the other 5 years in the reserves. Did you all get to watch a lot of fireworks? This isn't fireworks. It's video of the Capitol getting hit by lightning. This is George Washington Monument. Another video I saw of it wasn't a monument. It hit the top of the Capitol. But that was the monument. And did y'all, now let's see. This one here was the United Arab Emirates set to break the world record with 53-minute New Year's Eve fireworks display. I only got a 15-second clip. I'm not sitting around for 53 minutes. I guess I was close to the finale. I don't know. But over in China, they didn't have fireworks. Did you all get to see this? I'm going to play 3 videos, short videos. These are synchronized drones to show you how far their technology has gone. Every light that you see is from a synchronized drone, thousands of them. Let me go ahead and play all 3 videos for you. Pretty wild, isn't it? Synchronized drones. The dragon, yeah, it's an evil serpent. That's for sure. But it's a dragon. That has a lot of symbolism in China, and I don't know what, but they do. Here's a young lady over in Ukraine reporting. And I guess the sound in the video doesn't do it justice, but you can tell that she hears something because you can hear ordnance going off farther away, like maybe a quarter mile away or something. But something apparently gets a little too close to home.
Знаходиться в 2 кілометрах до околиць міста Покровськ. Тут ви бачите ось таку ялиночку.
Feet don't fail me now. So, yeah, you go for cover. Oh, boy. I feel bad for those people over there living under those circumstances. But let's see. Let's see what's going on here with what Mr. T had to say. We just won a historic landslide and mandate from the American people, but Senate Democrats are organizing to improperly stall and delay the confirmation process of many of our great nominees. They will try all sorts of tricks starting very soon. Republicans must not allow them to do that. We have a country to run and many problems to solve, big problems to solve, mostly created by Democrats. Republicans, be smart and tough. So, yeah, we don't need to be screwed with during this business of, they're already putting out videos that it's a Republican civil war between Elon Musk and Donald Trump, between MAGA and Mike Johnson. The Republican Party's falling apart. We can't let that continue. But anyway, before I get to Chip Roy, he put out a little interview. I'll play that in a minute. But Trump's response to these situations that we've been talking about. Trump said, when I said that the criminals coming in are far worse than the criminals we have in our country, that statement was constantly refuted by Democrats and the fake news media. But it turned out to be true. The crime rate in our country is at a level that nobody has ever seen before. Our hearts are with all the innocent victims and their loved ones, including the brave officers of the New Orleans Police Department. The Trump administration will fully support the city of New Orleans as they investigate and recover from this act of pure evil. Let's see. This is from Citizens Free Press. Oh my gosh! Did you all see the guy get pushed in front of the subway? Even though it's a quick clip, I can't play it. But you see him standing there in center screen, looking at his cell phone. This is an instant before somebody comes running up behind him and shoves him right in front of the train. Now, I heard that he's recovering. He had a head injury, but he's recovering. And I also heard that they caught the guy that did it. Of course, he's wearing a hoodie and a mask and, the usual creepy outfit. Now I want to show you all something, because you all are my witnesses. This is from Donald J. Trump. Those of you who have been watching my program will back me up on what I said in my past broadcasts about 2 broadcasts ago, okay? 2 or 3 nights ago. What did I say? Anyway, Trump says the tariffs and tariffs alone created this vast wealth for our country. When we switched over, then we switched over to the income tax. We were never so wealthy during this period. Tariffs will pay off our debt and, capital letters, make America wealthy again. He reposted this from Mark Anderson. Now I've got a clearer shot of that. Let me see, right here. Right here. Oh my goodness. Let me get that on the screen. There we go. And it's not as fuzzy as the other one. It says, this is a really remarkable chart of tariffs as percentage of total federal revenue. The second industrial revolution, perhaps the most fertile era for technology development and deployment in human history, was 1870 to 1914. That's exactly what I said a couple of nights ago. I know I've said it before. A pat on the back is 18 inches away from a kick in the pants. But I brought up the Industrial Revolution. I said that we were leaps and bounds ahead of other countries. I said that we had bigger advancements in technology and safety and wealth ever in human history. Were you listening to me, Mark Anderson? But no, it's self-evident. Self-evident. Tariffs revenue as a share of total federal receipts, 1798 to 2023. You see how they went to the income tax. What happened was Europe got into our business, all right, politically, whether it was through bribes, intimidation, just dealing with stupid people and taking advantage of their stupidity, infiltrating with communists. They got into our back pockets. Look how much money Europe used to put into our economy for the privilege of playing in our sandbox, of having access to our markets, okay, of having access to our wealth, of having access to our resources. After they put in the 16th Amendment, they got a free ride, and we end up individually paying for it, not only losing money, but losing our privacy, losing our freedom, okay, and being put under threat of incarceration if we don't let a bunch of brainless bureaucrats into our every little bit of thing we do in our lives. You see the line at the bottom. It's flat. Europe, other countries don't give us anything, but they take from us. And with the 16th Amendment, the biggest thing they took from us was our liberty and individual security and sovereignty. So look for the 16th Amendment with this post from Donald Trump. Look for the 16th Amendment to go the way of prohibition. The way of prohibition. Prohibition was an amendment to the Constitution that was repealed. So, do you all remember when I said those things about the Industrial Revolution? Woodrow Wilson, that's right, Theodosius. How you doing, Theodosius? Really, Woodrow Wilson's wife, because he stroked out and she took the wheel from there on. Let's see. What's this? Oh, Devin Nunes put this out. Gateway Pendant. Devin Nunes, 1 dead, 7 injured after Cybertruck explodes. I meant to put that up at the first. But here is some of the things happening overseas. Oh, I'm going to get into Carter. I'm going to wait a little bit. I got some things I want to say about Carter, but not for this broadcast. Here we go. Oh, have I got any more from Trump? Did he put out any more stuff? Let me see. What's this? I think Trump only put those two things out. Incoming chairman of the House Committee on Foreign Affairs, Brian Mast, wrote that Hamas has two options after President Trump comes to power: surrender and release all hostages, including the 7 Americans, or face the same fate as Sinwar and Nasrallah. You remember those two Hamas leaders that were slain? Hamas and Hezbollah. One of them had one arm when he checked out and got blown to smithereens. Jimmy, I've had this in the studio. You all seen this idiot Jimmy Kimmel sharing messages about Luigi. I don't want to talk about that guy. Let's see. Here we go. Whoa. That's the second time I put that up. Whoa. Anyway. Here we go. Elon and Vivek. This is out of Business Standard. Boeing engaged $9 an hour Indian engineers to build 737 MAX software. So, yeah, they're talking about the brain trusts and how we need to do this and do that to bring people over for high-skilled, $9 an hour Indian engineers. I'm just putting that up to do a little pushback. Because what's this about Vivek? I couldn't get a very clear one of this, but this is an old one, okay? It was reposted a couple of days ago. Vivek Ramaswamy is literally an IPO scammer. Get a load of this. He acquired an Alzheimer's drug called Axovant for $5 million in 2014. The drug had already failed phase 2 trials in 2010. His own mother, Geetha Ramaswamy, conducts new phase 2 trial in 2015, which is conveniently successful. $300 million, what is that, initial public offering in 2015, where Vivek cashes out $350 million, something he paid $5 million for. His mother does a study that says it's good, after somebody else did a study that said it was bad. He cashes out. It's called a rug pull. The stock plummets by 75% by September 2017 after a phase 3 trial failure. After more trial failures, 99% loss in value and company name change. Is that true? What do you think of that? So, yeah, that's why a lot of people don't jump up and down every time they hear the name Vivek Ramaswamy. Here's a nice meme I saw. The people who did this, you all remember that picture there, what that is on the screen? Remember that? The people who did this, a lot of you all know who it is, what that is. WA and then CO. Okay, Janet Reno. The people who did this want you to be mad over this. Right? Putting things in context. The American people's, well, the general public's memory, as I said at the beginning of the broadcast, is very short. WACO, Miss Mindersu, that's when Janet Reno raided the compound of David Koresh. And how many children were lost to flames? That's how they passed away. Flames. And the government did it. I think it was 9-year-old, 8-year-olds, 7-year-olds. This is that plane crash where 170 people passed. All right. Jeju air flight in Korea, South Korea. Only 2 survived. Remember that broadcast I said, by the way, the best place to be in an airplane crash is the tail section, remember? Remember? Well, here it is. Here is the died 179, survived 2. And you see the green dots, the only 2 that made it, right back here in the tail section. They're the only 2 that survived. So yeah, if they put you in the back of the plane, don't complain. Don't complain. Here you go. You wake up on January 21st, 2025, and realize that you forgot to pardon yourself. So with all these circuses going on, we're going to also be seeing a lot of these pardons. And a lot of them we're already braced for. We're already braced for. Access to some Russian media has been restricted in the EU under DSA sanctions and laws. Meanwhile, all Western Telegram media channels remain freely accessible in Russia. Who would have thought that in 2025, Russian Telegram users would enjoy greater freedom than European ones? You know, that is odd, isn't it? Remember back in the old days, it was always Russia and China censoring their media. Now it's flipped. Now in the UK, go to jail over a meme. Well, you do in America too. So I'm going to play Chip Roy. Keep in mind, Trump has said more than once that he's got faith in Mike Johnson. He wants no upheaval. He wants the debt ceiling extended. Okay, he wants either that or the government to be shut down under Biden to make them clean up their financial mess. Here you hear Chip Roy. He was called out by name by President Trump in an extensive truth he put out, pretty much telling Chip Roy to quit jerking people around and do as he's told. But listen to who else Chip Roy talks about. Somebody I talked about. I'm curious as to where this other congressperson stands.
Is Mr. Johnson going to have the support to keep his role as Speaker? What do you think?
Well, good morning, Ashley, and Happy New Year to all the listeners and viewers out there.
Same to you.
Look, Victoria's a good friend, and Thomas is a good friend, and they raise reasonable concern. I remain undecided, as do a number of my colleagues, because we saw so many of the failures last year that we are concerned about that might limit or inhibit our ability to advance the president's agenda. I respect, like Thomas, that President Trump supports Mike. I like Mike. He's a good friend. But let's consider what happened the week before Christmas. We violated the 72-hour rule twice, which means we didn't have time to read a bill. We had to have Elon and Vivek and the president and JD come in to kill a 1,500-page monstrosity to cut it down to 100 pages. It still spent $110 billion unpaid for. And do my colleagues say, oh, but that's all just discretionary spending? We also passed $200 billion that is taking money out of Social Security to transfer it, which will hasten the bankruptcy of Social Security by 6 months. That was all the week before Christmas, Ashley. That's a problem. That's not how we should do business. We racked up $300 billion of additional deficit spending after the election. We spent $1.7 trillion last year with more Democrat votes than Republican votes. We gave another $61 billion to Ukraine. My friend Victoria, she's from Ukraine. She has a heart for the Ukrainians, but she understands giving $61 billion to Ukraine after Mike Johnson promised to secure the border first. That's a problem. So we need to have a plan.
I'm just stopping for a second because here he's firing off all these terrible things, why he's taking a stand. Well, what have you been doing for the past 2 years? Okay? Why right now? When we need stability to certify Trump so he can go in on the 20th, why right now are you all of a sudden being a hard nose and not flexible at all? What have you done for the past 2 years? You were flexible then, okay? And who's he bringing up? Victoria Spartz. Let it finish playing.
Plan before January 3rd. The speaker needs to speak to it if he wants to have all of our support.
Yeah, and I have to follow up at this point, Congressman. Does he have that support or not?
Yeah, right now I don't believe that he has the votes on Friday, and I think we need to have the conference get together so that we can get united. And people say, well, Chip, who would you choose otherwise? There are a lot of great members of Congress. Mike's a friend, and maybe he can answer the call and he can deliver an agenda and a plan. Byron Donalds is a good man and a good friend. I supported him. I nominated him 2 years ago. Jim Jordan's a good man and a good friend. There are other members of leadership in the conference who could do the job. But what we need to do is unite around a plan to deliver for the president. Right now, I do not believe the conference has that. The failure before Christmas, I cannot overstate, is a glimpse to come if we don't organize the conference to be able to deliver for the American people. We are not going to be able to bend on the things that matter. We must cut spending if you want inflation to go down and for people to afford to live in this country. We have to secure the border. We can't be going back and forth on that. We have to give the tools, Tom Homan, the president, Stephen Miller, to secure the border. And we've got to have the plans in place by Friday.
Oh, so all of a sudden he wants to straighten out the whole federal government by Friday or cause disruption with the Speaker of the House and possibly interfere with Trump's inauguration? I don't want to hear that holier than thou, mightier than thou discipline with the budget by the Friday. It's obvious to me what's going on here, and I don't like it. Victoria Spartz, Miss Mindersu, is the representative from Indiana, and she's from Ukraine, and she's a dual citizen, but she is a Republican, but she likes to send billions of dollars over to Ukraine. So I put her in the same category, different philosophy, but same category as Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib, okay? Dual citizens who have more of an allegiance and concern for the countries they came from and somehow end up in Congress. And then teaming up with this blockhead to stir up garbage when Trump tells him to his face to get things done in there so he can get in office. And he still goes on national television preaching. Here's Mr. T coming to Mar-a-Lago with Melania.
with us. You are looking live right now at the president-elect and the First Lady at Mar-a-Lago making their way into the ballroom for an event. There are 300 guests that have been invited to ring in the new year with the president-elect. Look, there are a lot of parties happening tonight all across this country. Oh, let's check in with Sarah Williamson. I think she's got the president.
Well, we're just going to have a great nation again. We're going to bring it back to better than it ever was. I think we're going to see things and it's going to go fast. We're going to see some amazing things, but we're going to bring it back at a level that a lot of people didn't think was really possible. That's what happened with the election. It was a big mandate. The numbers were so great, and they really want to see something happen, and we're going to give that to them. We're doing a job. We're doing a real job. We have great people. Many are here tonight, but you're going to be very happy.
Have you got any New Year's resolutions for 2025?
Well, I just want everybody to be happy, healthy, and well. Thank you.
Happy, healthy, and well. Did you hear that, Chip Roy? Happy, healthy, and well. We got a country to run. We got a country to straighten out. Hey, here, I want to play this clip right here. This is somebody was auctioning off a Taylor Swift guitar. Taylor Swift owned this guitar. Somebody paid $4,000 for it. Turned out to be this older fella here, and I thought, I didn't know an older guy like that would pay $4,000 for a Taylor Swift guitar. Anyway, here he is after he won the bid.
Joking. Because we don't need the wall hanger. Gary, now take that, hang up that busted thing.
He bashed it up. So anyway, let me see what's going on in the chats. Sweet, yeah. Sissy, you see it already? I thought he was going to go up and go, yay, I got a sailor. I thought, well, all kinds, takes all kinds to make a world, right? But no, he did what most of us would do, bash it. This is the lady that her name was Debrina Kawam. And this is the lady that and Wokeness put this up. They put this up yesterday, and I didn't go live yesterday. This was put up before the incident in New Orleans and the one in at Trump Tower. But this is a lady who was set alight in the subway and lost her life. Her name is Deborah Kawam. She should be alive today. But the people in charge failed her, and she was reduced to a smoking pile of ash on the subway. Mass deportations now. So they got her age wrong on the report I read. I guess they transposed the numbers. She was actually 52 years old. And anyway, by all accounts, she was a nice lady, and now people know a little bit more about her. Something I found curious. After the events we've all witnessed today, this was about 5 hours ago. Rudy Giuliani posted this. Do you think this might be some kind of a message? Let me tell you what I'm thinking. This is all he posted. He didn't post anything else. He said, can you tell the difference? You can tell the difference if you are alerted, but can you if not? And that's all the post is. And I thought these would be videos, but they're not. They're still pictures. real human AI avatar. And that's the only thing that he posted. So I'm wondering if this has to do with a hint towards this video we saw. They can put any date on a video they want. I'm saying. But he didn't make any comment about the tragedies, about either one of them. He just put this up. And frankly, I don't see a whole lot of difference. And I thought if I played the video, I would see some differences. But yeah, in other words, we're being shown things, whether it was the guy just put on the screen or other people that were watching on TV. I don't know. Here is where Aisha Hasni put up, there are at least 4 to 5 others involved, sources tell Fox Digital, waiting on official confirmation from FBI at upcoming press conference. So anyway, this character, he had a Glock and I guess a 9mm and a .308 rifle, reported stolen in New Jersey. The .308 was equipped with optics and a suppressor. I don't know how a suppressor would have helped him tactically if what he was doing was according to plan. That's what makes me think something went wrong, because the high point of that event in New Orleans would have been midnight. Everybody would have been there, way bigger crowd. If he had optics and a silencer on that .308, maybe the plan was for that ordnance, those IEDs to go off in the street and for him to be tucked away somewhere, taking pot shots and have general mayhem. And over 3 hours went by past midnight before he drove his truck down the street and ended up losing his life and taking a lot of people with him. But you see what I'm saying? The equipment that he had, the IEDs in his truck, the suppressor and the optics, and then the other IEDs in the street that didn't go off. Why wait until 3:15 in the morning when the highest point would have been right at midnight? So if you look at it that way, I think it was a botched operation, and he ended up really going cuckoo. The left spend all day, every day, claiming Trump and Elon are Adolf. Threats to democracy, Russian assets, etc. Their rhetoric is dangerous and leads to real-world terrorism. Regardless of who is responsible, the Dems are to blame to some degree. And this is from Clandestine. I'm putting it up because I'm saying there's no coincidence that this type of violence and other acts of violence are occurring because of their rhetoric and their vitriol, their incitement, and their psychological operations against American citizens. So they are to blame. They are to blame, and there's court precedents for that. Jack Posobiec put this up. The FBI is too busy chasing J6ers who took an unauthorized tour of the Capitol. Why were the barricades down? All good questions. And hearing that this guy was reported twice. Now they're putting out in the news that this individual was a recent convert. A recent convert. I say BS. He was reported twice to Army COCs for Islamic extremist views, and they were too scared of causing a racial and religious issue to address. So we're talking 10 years ago or more, 15 years ago. He was being reported for extremist views, Islamic extremist views. So he's not a recent convert. That is misinformation. This guy's either Wahhabist or some kind of jihadist. I don't know if he's Sunni, Shia, or where he's from. But we'll find out. I think Kennedy has every intention on keeping his promise. So anyway, let me see here if I've got a... I played the lightning strike. The guy, okay, yeah, I got it all. Well, I've got a video from Mr. T that I know you all will enjoy. I'm going to play this on my way out, okay? And I want to thank you all for spending your precious time with me. If you're not subscribed, why not? Come on in, the water's fine. Hit the notification bell, that way you'll know when I go live. And I want to thank everybody once again who went to buy me a coffee this past month. And I've got a link in the description for anyone who wants to help out. I appreciate everybody gives me a thumbs up, even people that give me thumbs downs. Ha, ha, ha. So anyway, this was posted by Mr. T today. I believe it was his last post before I got ready to go live. And I hope you all get some encouragement out of it. And I will be going live again tomorrow night if you all want to join me, if everything goes okay. But like I say, if you got to hit the notification bell, you'll know whether I go live or not. So anyway, you all have a great night. Thank you for spending your precious time with me. I'll be seeing you soon. Enjoy this video. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
Trump has left the building.
Over. We can now project the winner of the presidential race. Donald Trump wins the presidency.
What started off as unlikely, impossible, is now reality.
I will fight for you with every breath in my body, and I will never, ever let you down.
We have a president who actually fulfilled the promises he made during the campaign. Securing the border to foreign policy.
He now has a record as president that's pretty damn impressive.
Breaking news out of Palm Beach,
The FBI has executed an unprecedented search warrant at President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. The former president has both sides of the political aisle up in arms.
It is a dangerous and unstable moment in American history.
The Justice Department has just indicted former President Donald Trump.
For 7 years, they hated him, they targeted him, they hunted him.
This is the epitome of the abuse of the prosecutorial power to preempt political decisions.
I never thought anything like this could happen in America. The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it. The more that a broken system tells you that you're wrong, the more certain you should be that you must keep pushing ahead. They want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. They're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I just happen to be standing in their way, and I will never be moving. On November 5th, 2024, justice will be done. We will take back our country, and we will make America great again. America will always rise to every challenge and overcome every danger.
Donald Trump seems to always get stronger when challenged. These types of things, I think, give him strength.
When I'm reelected, I will totally obliterate the deep state. As long as we have pride in our beliefs, courage in our convictions, and faith in our God,
then we will not fail.